one of the exciting parts now is, what is your message to a potential investor or a potential entrepreneur who's probably listening to this broadcast and saying, why should they set up their base or a new base or move your existing base to Salvador? What are the advantages Salvador brings in terms of, maybe base? And secondly, the connectivity factor, because one of the best advantages which Salvador has, you're right in the center, between the US or between North America and South America.
Right. Thank you for your question. I believe the first asset to put it in priority is the human resources.
Right.
Because the entrepreneurs in El Salvador are very active and very aggressive.
Right.
We are beyond our frontiers.
Right.
North and south.
Yeah.
The location, of course, is strategic for us too. And we are having business quite well with the North and South.
Right.
We create conditions through the signing of free trade agreements, with all the countries in Latin America.
Right.
Even with the United States, we do have a free trade agreement.
Right.
In the case of Europe, we have a strategic agreement, which includes free trade. And also here in Asia, we have an experience. Just in 2018, we create conditions to sign up an agreement of free trade agreement with South Korea. It's into force and it's giving great result to us. So this is just to create the base in order to promote confidence to the entrepreneurs. But at the same time, we promote what we call investment treaties for reciprocal protection of investment.
Okay.
And this is a very punctual in order to secure the investment of foreigner.
Right.
And we have signed already this type of agreement. We are starting negotiation with Qatar, just to give you an example, while we are here. But this is just to put us an example, the kind of environment that we are moving forward.
So can a foreigner own 100% ownership rights?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
But it depends if it comes from the private sector project or public sector project, because
Right.
you can have a joint venture with the government, but also you can do it with the private sector.
Okay.
You were mentioned the strategic location. Yes, we do have foreign investment in El Salvador because of the being located in the center of America. And when we start, by example, pulling out enterprises to come to El Salvador, they were just thinking in North America, especially the big markets, Mexico, United States, and Canada. And then this enterprise, at the same time, they see opportunities in the Caribbean and also South America.
Right.
And they did a new planning for new markets being there in El Salvador. So there is a potential, and it will depend on the areas to invest. But we are very strategically located in the center of America, not just Central America, and I believe this is an advantage. But the other thing that I believe that we should take in account is that the new trends, as we were mentioned, of course, tourism, we all are doing our best effort in tourism, but when it comes to the difference, we were talking about just Bitcoin. And Bitcoin for us, I reiterate, is very important to tourism right now, to do investment. And we are going to have soon new modalities within cryptocurrency, in this case Bitcoin. And I believe entrepreneurs, can do the assessment and pay attention to El Salvador to have the opportunities.
Right.
We are, we are having projects in infrastructures, that they can be considered. Just to give an example, trains, new airport, and ports also. Highways, we already are doing an effort here sharing tenders, from our country to Qatari authorities so that they can participate in this type of project. But I believe that we have to go beyond that.
Right.
And I believe there is a potential investors, not just here in Qatar, but in the GCC countries. And I believe that they can pay attention to us because of not just the Bitcoin and the environment of investment, but also the opportunities with new projects like the infrastructures, as I mentioned.
Right.
So we will be exchanging information with you, but also, as Rafael pointed out, we can set up an agenda and a fixed time to move forward in order to have these encounters with entrepreneurs. We can work it out in a way that's digital, but also we can do it presence.
Now, if I were to just slightly move aside in terms of entrepreneurs from Salvador,
Yes.
who want to access opportunities in Asia, Doha, globally. Why would businessmen want to partner with them in the first place? Like, there are a lot of traders in this part of the world. Is there something which they could sign deals with, for procurement?
Yeah,
It could be food and it could be other commodities.
We have to work more on that.
Okay.
Because I'm surprised being here, in Qatar, when I was noticed that a Salvadorian is already selling coffee in Saudi Arabia, by example, and
Right.
he has his network already.
Right.
I was not aware of that. I was paying attention just to the Qatari market,
Right.
and and doing engagement with Rafael, promoting our goods
Yeah.
and services. And then I discovered other people that are based in Iran.
Right.
And for some reason, and I think this is natural when it comes to investment. In our case, by example,
Right.
it's not just investment, but also in trade.
Right.
The penetration at the beginning is your neighbor. It's in Central American region. Then we expand, I believe in the 80s and 90s with the North America through this means, the agreements, free trade
NAFTA.
agreements,
Yeah.
NAFTA, taking advantage of Mexico, United States, and we have a preferential also tariff with Canada. We don't have still a free trade agreement. But then we move forward with other countries in South America, Chile, Ecuador, Panama, we do have free trade agreements. And the whole region, Central America, the 7 countries, we are 90% exemptions of all the goods in the region. So for all our countries, the region is a 50 million market to take advantage of. It's not just, local markets like El Salvador.
Right.
But when I see the figures of penetrating markets in the case of trade-wise,
Right.
so we have to encourage the entrepreneurs to get to know each other. And I make emphasis with Rafael, we should take advantage of networking. My position is that we should take advantage of information and communication technology.
Correct.
As a beginning, to get to know not myself, but the entrepreneurs.
Right.
We have to connect them.
Right.
And when I see that our entrepreneurs, at least when it comes to trading, they are already here in this, whole Middle East market.
Right.
Well, I said, this is breaking, the ice, because when it comes to Asia, we register that our export goes to China, Japan, Korea, and maybe Indonesia.
What are these kinds of exports? Majority.
But here is so low,
Yeah.
but it's happening.
Right.
That's my point.
But what are the majority of the exports? Is it coffee? Is it foods?
It's coffee, sugar cane, fruits, vegetables,
Right.
textiles. We have pharmaceuticals here in Qatar
Right.
also.
And that's talking about physical products, because in service, for example, in regarding contact center exports and services.
BPO.
Yes, as a BPO in 2021, we exported $487 million just in 1 year.
So this is both English and Spanish, or just?
English and Spanish, and we also provide French and Portuguese.
So there's a huge pool of English-speaking people in Salvador.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a big
an
advantage.
We are the second place in Latin America, just behind Costa Rica, which is doing an excellent job.
Right.
And we provide English-speaking services, and not only customer care, sales representatives, but also software developing. And right now, either basic and public education and private education in El Salvador is focusing since kindergarten to teach English.
Right.
So you can graduate from high school as a bilingual, and you can have more job opportunities rather than generate more of the percentage or the general what you can generate. So that's one of the main tools that it's taking El Salvador there,
Right.
and it's going places by providing these type of services with
Right.
English speaking.
Excellent, because I think that's a huge component, I'm glad we touched on that, because when I was in Miami a few years back, that's where all the headquarters for South American companies are, right? For various reasons.
Yes.
Yeah, but the cost of operations is so high, it doesn't make sense to actually have, if I want to have a contact center for any product I want to sell, any service,
have to know.
I need a back office. Now,
Yes.
where is that back office going to be, is the question. And I think
And the cost.
And the cost. And if Salvador, because cost is one reason, the availability of a big pool of English-speaking and Spanish. Of course, Spanish, I'm sure it shouldn't be a problem, but English especially could be. That is great because that helps you attract even North America. I can, and the larger world, So,
We're working in that direction, that becoming a hub,
Right.
not just for tourism or for airlines, because we have our airport,
Right.
and we have a hub to have connections with North America, South America, and Europe now.
Right.
The theme of manufacturing, by example, we do have a great investment already there, foreign investment.
Okay.
But we need to secure that entrepreneurs from these latitudes understand that model, and if they assess that is the right condition because of the location, because of human resources, because the currency, and because there are advantages when it comes to cost, because this is very important.
Right.
We do have to do the task, which is make the connections with entrepreneurs, have missions to go to El Salvador and to know the environment of business there and what is going on as a system. And then to get to understand that reality that is not just El Salvador, but it's the region, and move forward and see what the opportunities can be.